Hey, Lionville Lions and guests, again, it's my pleasure to bring to you a fine gentleman to bring some updates to us. It's been a while since we've heard from what's going on in sport. I know we see a lot of stuff in the paper, but that's not necessarily always accurate to what true life is. But we'd like to welcome Norman Krehbiel with us, who is the Interim CEO of Port of Longview.
Thank you very much. I'm going to stand up here so I can see which slide we're on. So this next slide. Hold on, George. Hold on. We do have three elected commissioners: Commissioner Jeff Wilson, Commissioner Bob Augustin, and Commissioner Doug Avery. I saw him this morning, so that's all I know. And on January 26th, the Port Commission did appoint me as the interim CEO. Our previous CEO was terminated on January 5th of this year. So these are this is a map of the state of Washington that shows all of the port districts in the state. There are 75 port districts statewide. We have 3 of those in Talbot County. We have the Port of Longview, which covers about 80% of the county area-wise, probably a higher percentage population-wise. We have Port of Kalama, and then there's Port of Woodland at the extreme southern edge. All of Talbot County is contained in one of those 3 port districts. We have 11 what we refer to as deep water ports. These are actual cargo handling ports on deep water, excuse me. So Woodland would not be counted as a deep water port because they have not developed a deep water terminal yet, but they are trying to do that. Am I supposed to cover some more of that? Okay. Here's an overview of the port. We have about a mile of river frontage, starting from the Lewis and Clark Bridge upriver to the Capstone property. We have 8 berths. Berths 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We do know how to count at the port, but when they originally built berths 1, 2, and 3, the ships were significantly shorter than they are today. And so, because 4 was a very active grain terminal at the time, we did not want to renumber 4, and so we simply omitted 3. So, I do want to assure you, though, that we do know there is a 3, and we even use it occasionally. Let's see, it says that we are part of the Southwest Regional Airport, which is true. Through November, we have made that determination not to continue. Let's see, we have, like I said, 8 berths. We have a row dock, which stands for roll on, roll off. It's only 96 feet in length along the river. It allows us to handle things that are palleted, and we've also handled some large steel pipe that was made at Skyline Steel for foundations for a bridge. And when I say large, it was a 13-foot diameter pipe made of steel with 2.5-inch thick walls, and they were, I believe, 80 feet in length. And so it was, there were 2 of them, and it was quite the operation to get those on board the barge. Let's see, we have, we're at River Mile 66. That's measured from the mouth of the Columbia. We have on-dock rail capabilities at berths 6 and 7. I don't know. We have about 15 miles of rail. We have taken over Willow Grove Park, which we'll mention later on. Our primary business is bulk and break bulk cargoes. We're not a container port. We don't handle cars. We do handle logs, which are considered break bulk. We've handled wind energy in the past. We handle a lot of dry bulks, which are basically granular in nature. Things like grain in the dry bulk, calcined coke, which comes out of the petroleum industry, gets exported Berth 5, that's a dry bulk, minerals, fertilizer, those types of commodities. So this is another aerial view, talks about, in the newspaper article from the Daily News, talks about us adding tracks to our rail corridor. This is the rail corridor of the railroads, and we have a track that comes off of here and comes around like this and goes into the port. The port is basically this piece of property here. We constructed that in the early 2000s. We constructed 2 tracks. They're both capable of holding unit trains. There's no at-grade crossings between the railroad main line and the port property. We are looking at expanding that rail corridor. We know that we want to have 3 leads that go from the rail main line to the port property south of the 508 bridge, which the port constructed as an overpass back in the 2002. I think it was completed. We are also looking at adding sidings, as many as 5 sidings to the 3 through tracks, for a total of 8 tracks. We may not ever get there, or we may build it in phases, but we are looking at expanding that capability. This is a picture of the old grain silos, the 1927s, the 1945s, and the 1951s, named for the year that they were constructed, of course. This was mothballed in 1988, and those structures still stand, and they are slated for demolition, hopefully in 2017. If subject to finding funding to do that. But the other thing we've done at Berth 4, that grain terminal was at Berth 4, like I said, is that we pulled out the old timber dock, which was constructed of about 1,000 creosote piling with a wooden dock structure or deck, and we have replaced that with an all-steel structure. It's a series of dolphins that this was done before it was complete. The stakes are taken, but there are breasting plates for the ship to breast against. These are catwalks that connect those individual dolphins. This new berth will hold a Panamax ship. It is not yet ready for cargo handling, however. We are looking at needing to add either ship loader foundations, if we're looking at like a dry bulk, or some type of a platform with loading arms for either liquid or dry bulk. So, but we have the berth in place, and we can use it as a lay berth in the interim until we track the tenant that would design a loading facility specific to their needs. This is Barlow Point. In 2010, the port purchased about 280 acres of property on the Columbia River at River Mile 62. You can see some of you may be able to see the Lewis and Clark Bridge up there, again at River Mile 66, so about 4 miles downriver from that. And this is all zoned industrial, this entire 280-acre parcel. It is a true greenfield. It has only been used historically for farming, and there was some dirt bike tracks that were constructed by the previous owner, and some bog rad racing, where they drag race through the mud, I guess, with tractors and things. We have eliminated all of those artificial features. We've returned it to just hay fields. And we are just basically managing the property to make sure that we don't create any artificial wetlands and just to keep the property looking good for a potential customer. And this is Little Grove Park, taken from the air, obviously. And this is the boat launch that the county built probably 15 years ago. George may know, I don't know. 20 years ago? Okay. So we have taken that over. We have developed a park plan which shows a number of improvements. I think the total for the improvements is around $12 to $14 million. We do not have $12 to $14 million for the park. We do have an application for grants from the state. Along with our match would give us about $1.5 million. So we would be looking at doing the first 10 to 15% of the project. More walking paths, getting the restrooms cleaned up and improved. We've replaced some water lines already. We are repairing some of the drain fields out there. We have plans for additional playground equipment. We've repaired the existing swing sets. So we are making some improvements. We will continue to make improvements. We hope to get those grants, like I say, and make some more visible improvements. Yes, I was actually truly honest actually. So the boat basin still has, I think, 2 inches of draft at last report. And we do have our permits in hand. We will be actually having the commission authorize us going out to bid at the June 22nd commission meeting, so just next week. For this dredging, as well as dredging at the port berths, our permit only allows us to start dredging October 1st. So our plan is to get the contractor out there as soon as possible, but not before October 1st, and actually get the boat basin dredged out, and then go to work at the ship berths. So here's the headline, says port drops out of airport contract. We did indeed do that. The interlocal agreement was set to expire in February of next year, 2017. We voted to give, when I say we, the commissioners voted to give a 9-month notice, which was required by the interlocal, so that our participation will end in November of this year. So we are still actively participating in the airport, but scheduled to expire in November. Part of that was, I think, very well stated by Commissioner Wilson, that it would be better to push the airport to get the new interlocal in place, whatever that was, prior to the end of the calendar year. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have a new one start in February, and so that was his initiative, and that is where we're at. Port Saves project, we're talking about the stern buoys. You've probably seen sometimes as you cross over either the Lucenbach Bridge or the bridge in Astoria, or just if you're along the shore, and you'll see a ship at anchor. And if you watch long enough, you'll see that the tide will actually turn the ship, so it will swing on the hook. And what the stern buoys do is they allow the ship to drop anchor, but then to tie to the stern buoy to keep that alignment. And by doing so, they can actually place additional vessels in the same space that they currently can only place a single vessel. And so what it does is it opens up additional anchorages. So 2012, I believe it was, we the four ports, Port of Portland, Port of Vancouver, Port of Klamath, and Port of Longview, funded the local share for the Army Corps to put in 3 stern buoys, and those have been well used and very popular. There was an opportunity to add, they're popular for large vessels. I mean, that's the only thing that moves them. We had the opportunity to add 3 more this year. It was about $168,000 per port was the share. The 3 Washington ports all agreed to pay their 1/3 share, or excuse me, 1/4 share. And Port of Portland declined to do that. And so the 3 Washington ports stepped up and each paid 1/3 of the Port of Portland share. While we paid that 1/3, we actually have a larger debt that we owe to Portland, the 3 Washington ports. And so it will actually be taken off of that debt as well. So it's not a real, it's not a loss to the Port of Longview, and we get the 3 extra stern buoys. So, okay, we're going to wrap this up. So, why does Washington need Longview? These are all of the legislative districts that either ship something from their port district to the Port of Longview, or we bring something into the Port of Longview and it goes to their legislative district. So you can see most of the state is not white. So only the white ones are the only ones that we don't directly affect. A lot of that agricultural and fertilizer. Strategic Planning Open House, that is tomorrow night, starting at 5 o'clock. PD or? At the PD auditorium. So hope to see all of you there. This is our Port Talk. Summer tour series. Good, they're on the back table because I don't remember the dates. And then challenges on the horizon. You can certainly talk to me after about these, but just the expansion of the Panama Canal is changing the way shipping does business. There's increased competition with the Canadian ports. Example is Port of Prince Rupert. With their Canadian government, they developed a express rail line from Prince Rupert to the Midwest, Chicago basically, so they can actually bring materials in and act as a transfer point for the Chicago-Milwaukee area. The merger of the 2 ports up north, Seattle and Tacoma, the Seaport Alliance. There's always been competition for federal funding for navigation, but that continues and is going to get more fierce. Changes in cargo trends and emerging markets. And we're done.
Thank you. I want to give you Pioneer Lions mug and an application if you feel so desired. We appreciate you coming. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.